Hello everyone, greetings from El Salvador. I would like to share with you some of the experiences, challenges, and some of the lessons learned during this time that I've been building or establishing the building blocks for the hub in Central America and the Caribbean. Four things I think it will give you a good vision of these experiences. One is about our capacity building plan that I've been working with some of the countries, and the other one is the elements of quality. What is the meaning of quality in emergency response? What are the elements in the emergency response? And lastly, I want to touch a little bit about the advocacy and the communication strategies that we've been using. First of all, when we're trying to build a capacity building program for the Central American hub, we find out that other agencies, other forums, other groups are doing the same. So this became a challenge because everyone is working from different perspectives and in different topics. So the lesson learned here is that the hub can enrich its performance if it looks for collaboration and complementarity with other agencies. The other one is about the quality in emergency response. Here, I think it's very important to define what is the meaning of this emergency response quality. When we're doing that, we find out that many people know about humanitarian principles, but there are too many exceptions to these humanitarian principles at the moment of responding to an emergency. So the lesson learned here is that we have to work in gradually building this knowledge of what is the meaning of quality. Then we have the elements for preparation and response, and also including disaster risk reduction. And it's about the main challenge that arises here is about building the scale of response. How much we can do in a moment in emergency, where we can do that, with whom. And I think this challenge is about understanding the common work that everybody is doing, and also with that complementarity that I mentioned during the capacity building program, is that we can start having teams, regional teams, with these people that is already responding in the emergency. Lastly is the advocacy strategy for the hub. Most of the elements of disaster risk reductions in Central America and of course the Caribbean had to do with policy. And here our allies and alliances that we can build on different issues are very important. For example, with the ACT Alliance forums, it's very specific what we can do in terms of advocacy. Also with the humanitarian teams in each of the countries are issues that we can approach. For example, policies that have to do with the regional strategy for disaster risk reduction. Also, the role of the armies in emergency response, which has been displaced the communal structure to respond at the local level. So the armies are basically taking over what used to be the civil protection structures, and this is something that is worrying many organizations and communities in Central America. The other thing is the level of debt that the countries are acquiring for responding to emergency, for reconstruction, rehabilitation projects, and of course for development, which some of the programs which are creating more disaster or risk for disaster. So these are the lessons, the challenges that we have found out, and some of the strategies that we're using to cope with them. That is collaboration, finding complementarity, also identifying what quality response means, and lastly, establishing a good advocacy strategies in Central America and the Caribbean.